Greetings, I'm Jack Tapestry. If you're watching this video, it's either because you know me from doing poetry for 20 years in Oklahoma City or from doing comedy for the last 2 years, or you just know me because you've lived and been around the art scene in Oklahoma City for the 20 years I've lived here. This is the start of a diary. I am a 47-year-old. I was in the first Gulf War, so military veteran. I was a paratrooper. 2 years ago, I found out that the Gulf War syndrome I've been suffering from um, uh, was actually what I had always suspected to be nerve agent poisoning. We were all exposed to nerve gas over there in the Gulf, and it's yeah, I'm dying. It's widely the history of that I'll probably go into detail in this diary, but the long and short of it is I already have genetically my through talking to my mom that about a 33 chance, 1 in 3 chance of getting dementia because it runs in our family. And from what research I've done about nerve gas and its effect, what little we know about its effect on the human body, that is about the same amount. So basically, I've got about a 2 in 3 chance of developing 2 out of 3 chance of developing dementia. So my crazy ass is probably going to get dementia. And in dealing with a lot of that, I've been trying to analyze it. I've always been very analytical minded, and the science of it. Knowing that from what research I've done, there isn't much research on nerve gas's effect on humans. Um, and I, being a spoken word artist and just kind of generally realizing I like talking, 2 years ago, I've decided I wanted to try and document, well, what's going to happen. Basically, this is an unfiltered look into me gradually losing my mind. I'm not sure. I'm going to talk about my symptoms a lot, the physical stuff like the constant spine pain and other things. It's going to be all over the map. I've started this project twice and deleted it because, frankly, it terrifies me as much as death, but I think it's something that should be documented. And by doing this as a YouTube series, it gets me to finally get it started and finally commit to documenting what's going to be my hopefully slow descent into madness. This is the channel over the next year is going to be probably the most honest and unfiltered. I'm going to try. The only thing I've ever really loved doing in my life is performing. 20 years ago, the first time I tried slam poetry, it caught. And I've kind of, after 20 years of doing slam poetry, I really like being on stage and talking. So I've started doing comedy. I'm working on kind of fusing this entire act into something that is both illustrating the process of my emotional process as I process my slow losing of my mental facilities, as well as trying to make it both artistic and funny as fuck, because I've always been the cynical bastard. I mean, I was a fucking I joined the 82nd Airborne Division out of high school, okay? I just have that in my, as this travels on, and most of you that are watching this for the first time know me well enough to know I'm that middle finger in the face of the Reaper kind of guy. So yeah, I'm going down, and I'm not all that, I'm not all that broken up about it, considering the lifestyle I led the first half of my life, but I'm also very fascinated by it. And since I like talking about things, I'm going to talk about it here most of all. In the next year, I'm going to have a book coming out that's about it. And I'm going to really try to finally make talking to people, be it comedy, poetry, or what spoken word, whatever you want, whatever idiom that will allow me to use my brain and my words to communicate to an audience is kind of what I'm going to try to do. I want to at least, if I'm going to go out, I want to go out having the thing that I love most in the world paying my bills. So yeah, the only real goal is to not have a day job anymore as I go through this. I'd rather not have to clock in every day to pay my bills and eat my food. So after 20 years, I've realized I'm pretty good at talking. I can be pretty funny. I can be pretty goddamn profound. So why not apply those also to the process of me analyzing me losing my mind? So this is the first entry. There'll be many to follow now that I've finally jumped in the pool on this, and I agree, I'm kind of terrified. But if you, like me, have a weird fascination with these things, and or you just care about me enough to check in on how I'm doing outside of shows, outside of times where I'm being a performer, this will be the most naked and honest that you will ever hear me. And yes, it's a confessional. And yes, I'm not talking to anybody specifically. And I can promise you this: I will never use the names of any of my friends, because this is about this. I may talk, if I talk about situations that happen socially. The people I mention, I won't mention them by name. They don't need to be mentioned by name. It is just it because this is more about my mind and everything else. And I don't want to put anybody. I don't want to get anybody involved in broadcasting these types of things publicly that doesn't want to get involved. And there'll be plenty of opportunities for that when I start performing comedy and such. So no, this is the private journal thing. It'll never be censored. Hence also the YouTube thing. It'll never be for profit either. This is just my inner attention whore going, you know what? Even if I'm going to die, I'm going to document that shit too, because I'm that much of a wise ass. So like, subscribe if you want to view further installments of my thoughts on both the world as I perceive it, trying to figure out the cosmic joke. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry, or I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna cry. You're gonna watch, because voyeurism is. I have nothing against it whatsoever, as long as you're not judging me in that. Because well, I don't care. You're gonna judge. You're gonna judge. You're gonna think whatever you think about what I say, and I'm fine with that, because I'm fucking. In all honest, I'm losing my mind and dying at the same time. The last thing that I'm going to be concerned about is in this journal especially is what the rest of the world thinks. This is just the broadcast from the center of the brain without any filter out into the world. So if you do like and subscribe, thank you. And yeah, welcome to the Diary of Jack Tapestry. And we'll see where we go from here. Until next time, I've been Jack Tapestry, and you've been the rest of the world, who probably isn't watching anyway, but that's cool. We'll get to know each other better.